Sir, this is an Arby's. Okay, that is pretty sick.
So what if I smell like roast beef? This whole place smells like roast beef.
Gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, the Administrative Results channel. I appreciate you stopping by. So today we're taking a look at two firearms that I think are interesting. One being the DPMS Kitty Cat, and the other being a Broad River Tactical Car-15 SD upper. And I figured these two guns are like in a weird similar ballpark of being quasi-niche, like 300 blackout PDWs, maybe not like what the high-speed cool guys are gonna be using. No, these are guns for guys like me, professional retards like you. Sup, retards? I'm taking it back, dude.
I'm taking it back, you watch.
What's up, dude? Denny's, what is up? Denny's. Bro wrote 300 blackout on the upper so he doesn't forget. What if he votes 556 into his 300 blackout upper?
Good luck, boy.
So a quick disclaimer is that this is not supposed to be like a heavy duty firearms review. This is just kind of like the gun guy equivalent of showing off something fun. That's the goal of this. I'm not trying to be like, guys, is this the SHTF 300 blackout go-to PDW? No, that's not the goal of this. I'm just trying to have a good time. Live a little. I did not talk to the Broad River Tactical guy. I don't even know who owns it. I don't know who it is. I remember just seeing it. I thought it was cool, so I bought the upper with my own money. It doesn't come with a charging handle or a bolt. I have the Diligent Defense can, the same can which we used on the MCX video, but now I got a different can on that gun. My God. These dimples remind me of the dimples above the buttocks of a beautiful woman. That's a Ray Stevenson, the other guy's reference, and if you get that, we can be friends. Got the Surefire Scout Light. Got the Surefire Scout Light on there. Got a Hollow Sun Romeo 4T. And then moving back, we have the Car-15 setup. Got the Hammy Prince cheek riser and then the butt pad. Pretty simple setup. And of course, we have the Geisley trigger in there. It's not that fancy of a build. I think where everything is cool is in this little setup up front, right? The handguard, the suppressor, the SD look, the marriage of a Car-15 with a MP5 SD, because the MP5 SD is gotta be one of the sexiest guns of all time. This looks very cool and it has peak aesthetics. My God, look at my hands. Is that from the rubber? Maybe. Maybe it's just from like the gases getting out. My life expectancy is getting shorter every time I make an administrative results video. Please, God, just give me one more video, God. Let me make one more YouTube video, God. The overall look, the aesthetics, the vibe of it. I think there's been a lot of focus on trying to be the most lethal you can be, but sometimes you want to have some fun, dude. And this is pretty fun. If you can get it dialed and kitted and fitted right to where it's actually like usable, that just makes it that much cooler. The home intruder must learn the hard way about my Broad River Tactical Car-15 SD upper and a magazine full of 220 grain subs thanks to Badlands ammo. I won't even wake the neighbors up. I won't even wake the neighbors. Welcome back to High Speed Dynamics. Today we're going over a tried and true classic, a long forgotten technology, the Jungle Mag. You know, when that cartridge runs dry, what do? Well, you reload, naturally. So when you're conducting that reload, what do we call that? You're under duress or under stress. We call that a high speed reload. Because you're trying to go fast, we call it high speed. So when you're working in that non-permissive high-speed dynamic environment and your kinesthesiology is kicking in and your biomechanics are screaming at you saying you should have died in a war in Europe, you know, it's all biomechanics. Your biomechanics going into your rotator cuff as your deltoids engage to absorb that. If you don't have any deltoids, guys, go to the gym, do some flies. If you don't have any deltoids, you gotta control that gun. Whoa, this recoil is crazy. Ah! Now, of course, we got here the DPMS Kitty Cat. So I was Mikey, move. Where you going? What are you doing, Colton?
It's too dark. It's too dark.
My bad. All right. This is actually my real height. I'm actually 5'4". Now we have the DPMS Kitty Cat. This one is chambered in 300 Blackout. Go figure, it's a 300 Blackout PDW episode. I don't know off the top of my head if PSA is rolling out 300 Blackouts yet, or if they just sent me a 300 Blackout Kitty Cat because I'm a YouTuber and I'm special like that. That being said, I saw on their website they are out of stock, but those are the 5.56 ones. I would assume they're out by now. I don't think I'm that special, in case I am. I'm getting weirded out by you being all the way out there. Come down here.
I'm gonna do it.
My cameraman will face summary execution, Judge Dredd style. I believe these are starting to roll out, which is cool because the Kitty Cat is so niche that I didn't even know about it until they hit me up and I started doing the research about it, and that's kind of a bummer because I am a big carry handle simp. That being said, I have dumped certain knowledge and things and compartments in favor of niche warbow knowledge that no one cares about, and I was watching Hop and I was coming across articles from Luke, Ballistic Aviation, and they were talking about the Kitty Cat. Those guys, they don't claim to be gun hipsters, but I think they're definitely gun hipsters. But they were talking about it and even doing like 22 LR conversion kits for their 5.56 ones. I think it's cool. I think it's a different vibe. I want to say this is a 7-inch barrel. For sure 7 inches, dude, massive. This is a 7-inch barrel, which is pretty long for, 300 Blackout. It's such a low-hanging fruit innuendo. By now, it's kind of like the joke's dead, but we keep using it. Whatever. And then, of course, PSA acquired DPMS, and now they're selling them, but it's got the DPMS markings on it, which I think is neat. But what I was coming across is the idea of smaller gun for certain niche applications. One of those was like SWAT CQB, which I could kind of see. You know, you get a rifle round and a really compact package. Such a gun guy buzzword, as opposed to say maybe they were of the era when they were using 9mm submachine guns. They still wanted some sort of rifle round. That being said, if I had access to a submachine gun, you can still put a lot of lead on a target really fast with very little recoil, and you can just zip them up and like zzz, you know, it's almost like you're playing an airsoft match with 9mm rounds. So I got it. It had what looked like an A2 style bird cage on it, swapped it out for something that could take the Diligent Defense can. It's like my go-to 30 cal, just beat the hell out of it kind of can. Got the gooseneck mount, the Trichicon reflex on the A1 C7 style upper, and then of course the PSA Car 15 pistol brace. Well, and another thing is the aluminum handguard, which is actually kind of cool, but also it really limits the real estate of what you can do. I tried one of the different goosenecks where you can attach the optic on top of the gooseneck itself, but it was itself too long to even fit on this, but thankfully this style of gooseneck worked. A funny thing about this is just how much limited real estate you have. I mean, I could probably throw a weapon light on underneath, you know, Blood Diamond Car 15 style or Gothic Serpent style, but I didn't do that yet because I had to punch the sling swivel out, and then I wanted to come make this video and I didn't do it in time, and I was like, ah! That'll simulate me taking cover. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. The Car 15 pistol brace, it looks good. It does not feel good. I'll use it how it should be used. Cheeking it. Cheeking it. It's actually objectively pretty cool. Oh man, those rounds, from where my dot is to where the rounds are landing, are definitely falling like a meteorite. So my hold was like above that rock with the Trichicon, and then it just like impacted on the dirt mound below it. Why does bro throw the safety on so quick after shooting? What if there's a threat? What if the threat's not dead yet? The cardboard's still standing, why are you putting the safety on? Hey, if the cardboard is still standing on that flat range when you're shooting, why are you engaging the safety, right? You've committed that level of violence. You know that violence is engaged. I mean, think about it. A projectile is small. You know, maybe this 220 grain sub costs $1-ish a round. But what does a human life cost? What does the index finger can do to a man? You know, food for thought. Travis, it's me.
Find the best way that works for you, okay? Efficiency, break it down mechanically.
Gentlemen, I want to give a quick thank you to the sponsors of this video that make this possible. Americana Pipe Dream Apparel, fantastic young Zoomers getting after the milsurp space and arena. Night vision knives, manuals, e-bikes, whatever your heart desires to LARP hard in your mother's basement. I'd encourage you to go check those guys out. I have to give a big thank you to Optics Planet, the optics sponsor of the channel. and I appreciate them, and there's always a plane popping up, but what are you gonna do? We're gonna persevere. Big thank you to those sponsors for keeping the lights on here. Now, of course, we are using some Badlands 220 grain 300 blackout for this video. They are the ammo sponsor of the channel. I want to give them a big thank you because they make this kind of thing possible. Dumping lead, inhaling all the carbon lead gases that come into my face. I will say so far, the gas is definitely not bad on the Broad River Upper. Tastes like a campfire in my mouth. I'm not gonna lie, dude, I feel like such a cool secret squirrel agent when I use a 300 blackout suppressed. I feel like it would be the gun of a high-speed operator, James Bond, John Wick type. So it's definitely above my pay grade by like 20 levels, but it still feels cool, you know what I mean? Like waxing some boars with it or something, some wild pigs like in Texas, sounds like a blast. You get to do it quietly. Contact rear, go, 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 go! I will say, oh, don't want any dust getting in my truck, dude. I will say, ultimately, I think these guns are pretty neat, right? That's the whole purpose of this video, showing off something cool. I think they serve a fine balance of interesting, cool, and practical. You know, you may be balling on a budget, so you could have, you know, that train of thought.
We call them poor, okay?
Everyone's always like, my guns are gonna be as practical as possible. But sometimes you just want a neat gun, man. And I think that's okay. If you can afford it, then why not? Or if you can't, then I guess just steal your mom's credit card. So, now I do think that the DPMS Kitty Cat is pretty cool. I like it in 300 blackout. I think it being originally in 5.56, but getting the facelift 300 blackout makes it more ballistically viable. I know guys have been running short 5.56 for a while now, but of course, 5.56 does not excel as a short gun. That being said, I think the over-compact package of that Kitty Cat makes it a really cool, like quasi-bedside truck, home defense, PDW style gun. I think they did a really cool job, and I think it's fun because there's like that lore to it that I didn't even know about until I got one and did a little research, and I think that's where a lot of that fun comes into. Man, my hand is super black right now. I'm like Justin Trudeau or something at a Halloween party. I think both these guns are interesting and fit into a nice Venn diagram of being similar enough to kind of mesh them into one video. Because this gun itself, you know, it's kind of like what's really going on, mainly the whole front end of the gun's the most interesting part. Everything else is pretty generic and, you know, tame. And the 300 blackout one's not probably as cool as their 9mm one. And if they are doing updates to it, then cool. I think that's interesting. Kitty Cat, Kitty Cat. It's fun saying that in this. Kitty Cat, Kitty Cat. Kitty Cat, one of those interesting guns, small, you know, you can kind of cover all the details pretty quick, so I think it's a little good bang for both of our bucks of time. And if you're watching this while eating or on the toilet, then, you know, you could time theft appropriately from your boss as one does. Gentlemen, I got nothing else for you. I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this, and I will catch you guys on the flip. I broke my, you see my wood stand I broke?
Oh. When did that happen?
Just now.
Oh, nice.